Hello friends, today we are going to learn 29 words phrases. These words will be useful in college life. So let's start. I am totally swamped with assignments this week. The word swamped means very busy. In Hindi we say बहुत ज़्यादा व्यस्त. So example 1. She was swamped with work and couldn't attend the party. So she had lots of work. She was in some meeting in office, and she was invited to a party, but she couldn't come. So how will you describe her? She was swamped with work and couldn't attend the party. Okay, another example. I am swamped with meetings all day. So from 9 to 10, there is a meeting. 10 to 11, again there is a meeting. Have some time for lunch. Again there is a meeting. So how will you describe the situation? I am swamped with meetings throughout the day. Example number 3. He's swamped with client emails right now. So he has to, after coming back from a vacation, he has to check all his emails. So he's swamped with emails from the client right now. Or maybe there has been a situation in which there has been a problem and customer is not happy. So he is repeatedly sending emails. So how will you describe the situation? He is swamped with emails from the client right now. Example number 4. We got swamped during the festival week. So during festival week, there is a lot of orders. And in order to fulfill those orders, you have to work day and night. So what you will say? That we got swamped with orders during the festival week. The second phrase is wrap up. So now wrap, you can do a gift wrap. That is a different thing. You take a gift and you wrap it. Okay, that is a different thing. This is wrap up. That means you close something. Khatam ho gaya. Okay, so the sentence will be, can you help me wrap up this presentation before class? Wrap up means to finish or complete something. Let's wrap up the meeting early today. So you want to go home. And what will you do in order to go home? You have to finish everything. You have to finish work for today and leave at 4 o'clock. So let's wrap up this meeting as I want to leave early for home. Another example. I have wrapped up my homework in 1 hour. Normally it takes 3 hours. But you need to go to play. So I wrapped up my homework in 1 hour. Another example, they wrapped up the event with a group photo. So you go for a picnic, lots of people, and just before coming back, everybody gets together and they wrap up their picnic with a group photo. Okay, so remember this, wrap up is useful. When you are finishing something, you wrap up. So in college you can use this when you go for a picnic, or maybe you need to finish an assignment. Let me wrap up my assignment before I come with you in order to play. The next phrase is heads up. Heads up means you understand or you get to know something early. The professor gave a heads up about the surprise quiz. A heads up is a warning or an advance notice. You get to know something in advance. पहले से ही पता चलना. So the first example will be, thanks for the heads up about the test. So test is tomorrow and teacher tells you today, tomorrow there's going to be a test. So thanks for the heads up about the test tomorrow. He did not keep a surprise test so that everybody gets less mark. He told 1 day in advance so that you can prepare. So that is giving a heads up. Another example, he gave me a heads up about traffic jam. So somebody is leaving for college and another friends tell you today there is a lot of traffic jam. So he's giving you a heads up. He gave me a heads up about the traffic jam. Another example, I appreciated the heads up before the surprise inspection. So there is going to be a surprise inspection. But you get a heads up. You get an advanced warning from some friend or somebody who wants you to survive. So that is a heads up before the surprise inspection. Okay. So you're getting a heads up. You use this in college. I got a heads up about the dance performance. So I could prepare properly for the dance. Blast means not that bomb blast. This blast is enjoy. You had a great time, fantastic time. I had a blast. Okay. Our college fest was an absolute blast. बहुत मजा आया college fest. So what is the sentence? Our college fest was an absolute blast. Another example. We had a blast at the concert. So there was a music concert. Everybody was dancing. So after coming back, what will the person say? We had a blast at the concert. Another example. Everyone had a blast at the farewell party. So 10th standard is over. Maybe college last day is over. Now there is a farewell party organized. So what will be the sentence? Everyone had a blast at the farewell party. The movie night with friends was a total blast. There was a movie night. All the friends had come. So it was a total blast. Everybody enjoyed. Brush up on. There is one toothbrush. There is a brush used to clean bathroom, but this brush is different. Brushing up means you revise something. Example is, I need to brush up my coding skills before the test. There is a test, maybe a maths test or maybe a science test. So what will you do before the test? You will open the books, read a bit. You cannot read in detail because the test is after 1 hour. So you are brushing up for the test. I need to brush up my coding skills before the test. Another example, she is brushing up on her French. So company has given an assignment in France and the lady wants to travel to France. But she had studied French 3 years back. She could speak fluently, but then her practice has gone. So what will she do now? She is brushing up on her French before her trip. I am brushing up on my presentation skills. So you need to present something to somebody after many years. So what will you do? You are brushing up on your presentation skills. We brushed up on our dance steps before the show. So the person has been doing dance practice since last 30 days. Then he took 1 day rest. And after that, the actual dance show is there. We will not do dance practice before the dance show. They will just brush up on their dance steps before the show. What is the complete sentence? We brushed up on our dance steps before the show. Catch up on. कोई चीज छूट गई है उसको पूरा करना. Catch up on means to do something you should have done earlier. For example, I need to catch up on sleep this weekend. So whole week, Monday to Friday, late night you worked. You had to work till 10, 11 in the night. So you couldn't get proper sleep. What will you say on Saturday? I need to catch up on sleep this weekend. He caught up on all the missed lectures. So the person couldn't attend college for 3 or 4 days. So what will he do? He caught up on all the missed lectures. Another example. Let's catch up on the news from last week. 1 week you did not watch TV. Now what will you do? You will have to catch up on the news from last week. Another example. She's catching up on her emails after the vacation. She's catching up on her emails after the vacation. She went on a vacation. Now she's come back. So lots of emails are in the inbox. So she's catching up on emails after the vacation. Next phrase is very simple. Fill out. The clerk told me to fill out this form for the library card. Another example, please fill out this application. यानी एक फॉर्म है उसको भरना है. I filled out the survey for the college event. She filled out the hostel form yesterday. Don't forget to fill out your exam registration. Don't forget to fill out your exam registration. Example, two people are working in a store. Okay, so one person is going to come late by 2 hours. So he will call up the other person and say, can you cover for me? I will be late today. हिंदी में किसी की जगह लेना. Example 1. She covered for him when he missed the meeting. So there are two people in the meeting. One person missed. So she explained what he had to explain as well as her part. She covered for him when he missed the meeting. I'll cover for you while you are out. Somebody has taken a vacation. And you will tell him, don't worry, I'll cover for you. He asked his friend to cover for him in attendance. Can you cover for me during today's group discussion? So there is a team. Maybe 3 people are there in the team. One is not going to come. So what does he say? Can you cover for me during today's group discussion? Make it. I couldn't make it to the class today. यानी मैं नहीं पहुंच पाया. Another example. I couldn't make it to the event. You couldn't reach there. Maybe you fell ill. So what will you say? I couldn't make it to the event. She made it just in time for the dinner. The dinner was maybe at 8 o'clock in the evening and she reached there at 7:59. So what will you say? She made it just in time for the dinner. Next example, we couldn't make it to the last lecture. Next example, will you make it to the party tonight? So you have arranged a party and you invite somebody and there is a discussion and you ask, will you make it to the party tonight? Will you be able to make it to the party tonight? Dozed off यानी झपकी लेना, धीरे से सो जाना. Example, the seminar was so boring, I literally dozed off. So you must have seen some people, they go to sleep as soon as the lecture starts. धीरे 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 बहुत शांति होती है, मन करता है सो जाए. He dozed off during the movie. The movie was very boring. Was not enjoying it. So what did he do? He dozed. I dozed off while reading the textbook. She dozed off in the library. These are examples. I repeat them. Don't doze off during the lecture again. You are telling somebody, don't doze off during the lecture again. Over my head. यानी समझ में नहीं आना. बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. The professor's lecture went over my head. Another example. The concept of quantum physics goes over my head. You don't understand quantum physics. So what will you say? The concept of quantum physics goes over my head. Most of what he said just went over my head. Another example. This programming topic is completely over my head. The documentary was too complex. It went over my head. The documentary was very, very difficult to understand. You paid attention but couldn't understand. So you'll say, the documentary was too complex. It went over my head. The next word is plead. I had to plead with the professor to extend the deadline. That means you have to request. Vinti karna. She pleaded with her parents for a new phone. The girl wanted a new phone. So she went and asked her parents. They did not agree. So she again asked and then again asked. So she pleaded with her parents for a new phone. He pleaded for another chance to submit the assignment. Another example. They pleaded with the principal not to cancel the event. And the principal was very angry. He said that you are not behaving yourself, so I am not going to allow you to hold the dance function. They said, please, sir, ऐसे मत करो. They pleaded with the principal not to cancel the event. The student pleaded for a re-evaluation of his paper. So the student thought that maybe if the professor rechecks his paper, then he will get more marks. So what did he do? The student pleaded for a re-evaluation of his paper. Acing, बहुत अच्छा प्रदर्शन करना. He is known for acing every exam. Every exam he comes first. So what will you say? He is known for acing every exam. She aced the math test. There was a math test and she came first or second. So what will you say? She aced the math test. I am hoping to ace my final interview. Final interview is very important. So you have to prepare very well and give it properly. And what will you say? I am hoping to ace my final interview. He aced the presentation without any preparation. Riya aced all her subjects this semester. Next phrase is under the weather. Means not feeling well. तबीयत थोड़ी ठीक नहीं है. I am feeling a bit under the weather, so I might skip today's class. He is under the weather and resting at home. Another example, I couldn't attend the lecture because I was under the weather. She looked under the weather during the presentation. I am feeling under the weather after yesterday's travel. So there was a lot of traveling yesterday. Whole night you were in the bus. You couldn't sleep properly. What will you say? I am feeling under the weather after yesterday's travel. Phrase is signed off. So take approval. किसी की permission लेना. I need to get this signed off by the head of the department. Next example, the proposal was signed off by the manager. Get your leave application signed off by HR. So you can go for leave, but only if it is approved by HR. So what will you say? Get your leave application signed off by HR. The budget was signed off this morning. Next example, he got the project signed off before the deadline. Deadline is maybe next week. So the project needs to be signed off before next week. He got the project signed off before the deadline. Catch up we have already done before in the same video, in this video only. In that part, catch up means जो कुछ छूट गया है वो complete करना. I need to catch up on my mails after the vacation. But now here, catch up is used in a different context. Let's catch up over coffee after class. मिलने के बाद बातें करें. Let's catch up over coffee after class. So we'll meet after coffee. Let's catch up. I caught up with an old friend yesterday. You met the friend after a long time. So what will you say? I caught up with an old friend yesterday. Let's catch up this weekend. So you want to meet somebody. And then what do you tell him? Let's meet on Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday is weekend. So what will you say? Let's catch up this weekend. We caught up on everything that happened last year. It was nice to catch up with the batchmates. There is a college reunion. After the reunion, what will you say? It was nice to catch up with the batchmates. Karna. The professor's explanation really cleared things up. Her example cleared up the confusion. So there was a lack of understanding, but she gave a very good example. So you will say, her example cleared up the confusion. A diagram will help clear things up. There is a lot of theory written, but if a diagram is given along with it, one can look at the diagram and then read the theory. A diagram will help clear things up. The teacher cleared up my doubts after class. This video tutorial cleared everything up. Not yet decided. Not able to decide what exactly to do. असमंजस में होना. I am still on the fence. Which elective to choose? So which elective? For example, there are two electives. Let us say computers and history. So you don't know what to choose. You need to figure out what is your future, and depending on that, you need to choose the subject. I am still on the fence about which elective to choose. He's on the fence about joining the trip. So he doesn't know whether he wants to come or not. Not yet decided. He's on the fence about joining the trip. I'm on the fence between psychology and economics. She was on the fence about applying abroad. So she doesn't know whether to go or not. She's not yet decided. Thinking about it. She was on the fence about applying abroad. We are on the fence about organizing the fest this year. So the budget is not yet approved. So if the budget gets approved, then only you can organize. And maybe if things are not favorable, you'll have to cancel it. So we are on the fence about organizing the fest this year. Write home about. कुछ खास नहीं है. Not very impressive. Example sentence. The canteen food is decent, but nothing to write home about. The canteen food is good, but not very good. So what will you say? The canteen food is decent. The canteen food is decent, but nothing to write home about. The movie was okay. Nothing to write home about. Another example. The test results were good, but nothing to write home about. The performance was average, not bad, but nothing worth writing home about. The hotel was clean, but nothing to write home about. So, what is the phrase? Write home about. कुछ खास नहीं, not very impressive. Through hoops, बहुत झंझटों से गुजरना. यानी आपको कोई चीज हासिल करने के लिए बहुत मारामारी करनी पड़ती है. Example, I had to jump through hoops to get my scholarship approved. He jumped through hoops to get the visa. So he had to collect many documents, and then he had to go again back and forth to the embassy again and again. So what will you say? He jumped through hoops to get the visa. We had to jump through hoops to get the event approval. She jumped through hoops just to get a hostel room. So when she initially went, the warden said all the hostel rooms are allocated. Then the clerk was not cooperative. However, she tried again and again, and after maybe asking some professor, etc., she got a hostel room. So what will you say? She jumped through hoops just to get a hostel room. I jumped through hoops to fix my course registration. Nailed means we had also done aced in the same video, but this one is different. Nailed, बहुत अच्छा प्रदर्शन करना. That is the meaning. She really nailed the group presentation. You nailed that speech. Somebody goes on the stage and gives a very good speech. Everybody has clapped. After he comes down, What will you say? You nailed that speech. He nailed the interview and got the job. So he passed the interview and then he got an offer letter. So what will we say? He nailed the interview and got the job. I think we nailed the dance performance. She nailed the final round of the quiz. Slack off means become a bit lazy, a bit careless. After doing a lot of hard work, after being consistent for 6 months, then आप ढीले पड़ जाते हैं. So that will be called slack off. Example, I am trying not to slack off during the final semester. So degree may, let us assume there are 6 semesters. So 5 semesters you performed very well. And during last semester, take it a bit easy. But we should not do that. The example is I am trying not to slack off during the final semester. Don't slack off in your last year. He started slacking off after midterms. The teacher warned us not to slack off during the project. I slacked off last semester and now I regret it. So last semester he did not study well. Because of that, maybe failed in one subject. So what will he say? I slacked off the last semester and now I regret it. Show off. अरे वो तो बड़ा show off है, दिखावा करना. He's the kind of guy who loves to show off in class. She shows off her new gadgets all the time. नया iPhone मिला है तो इधर उधर दिखाना है. He's showing off. He shows off whenever he gets good marks. Don't show off too much in front of the guests. They love to show off their dance moves. So if somebody knows very good dance and he wants others to be entertained and he wants others to know about his skills, so he will love to show off his dance skills. They love to show off their dance moves. जानकारी ना होना, not having knowledge about it. Example, I am completely clueless about what's going on in economics class. I am clueless when it comes to accounting. So somebody is good at science, but they don't understand accounts. So what will they say? I am clueless when it comes to accounting. She looked clueless during the discussion. I was clueless about the new assignment. He's clueless about how to apply for internship. So somebody wants to apply, but they don't know the rules and regulation. They don't know what forms to fill. They don't know which office to go to. So he's clueless about how to apply for internship. Backup. That means whatever data you have, you keep it somewhere. Don't forget to back up your project files. I backed up my presentation on a pen drive. So you have an important presentation. The presentation is on your laptop. However, you will also keep it on a pen drive and take it along so that if the laptop crashes, still the presentation can be shown on somebody else's laptop. I backed up my presentation on a pen drive. Always back up your photos to the cloud. He lost all his work because he didn't back it up. Make sure you back up the database daily. Brainstorm. Okay, people sit together and contribute their ideas and come up with something new. So what is that called? Brainstorming. Example, we'll need to brainstorm some fresh ideas for the event. Let's brainstorm for the college magazine. For the college magazine, everybody sits together and one person says the editorial should be like that, and then another one gives some other suggestion. Okay, In the editorial, let us include this topic. So they are brainstorming. The team brainstormed ideas for the annual day. We sat together to brainstorm project topics. The professor asked us to brainstorm before writing. This word is through. Through, through. This word can be used in several different ways. One example is water flows through the pipeline. So that means water is going inside the pipeline. But here it has a different meaning because it is used in a certain context. Pravesh ki anumati. I forgot my ID and the guard didn't let me through. They let me through after checking my name. He showed his pass and walked through. So he had a special pass. And once he showed the pass, the security person let him enter. So what is the sentence? He showed his pass and walked through. Is often used. Cooperative. मदद करना, किसी को हेल्प करना. The lab assistant was very cooperative during the practical. My classmates were really cooperative. That means in class everybody was helping each other. They were not teasing each other, insulting each other. They were helpful. That is why the student will say, my classmates were really cooperative. The teacher was cooperative during the viva. Everyone in the group was cooperative. The librarian was cooperative while issuing books. The next one is bunk. This is very frequently used in college. Class bunk karna. I am planning to bunk tomorrow's class. We bunked the lecture to watch a movie. He always bunks morning classes. Let's not bunk the lab today. They were caught bunking the class. I hope you have gone through all the 29 words. Now we have to practice using them in a conversation. Let's start. My college is 1 hour away from my home, so I have to catch a local train. Today morning, I caught the local train on time. I went inside and then I got a window seat. Because I got a window seat, I dozed off. I did not understand when my station came and I missed it. I got down at the next station and then I had to catch a rickshaw. I spent 40 rupees on the rickshaw. However, I was able to make it to college on time. After reaching college and attending the first lecture, I had to fill out certain forms which are required for a computer course that is compulsory in our college. While filling the forms, it took around 15 to 20 minutes to fulfill those forms. Because of that, I was late for the third lecture. I was late by around 15 minutes. I spoke with a friend and caught up on what the teacher had taught in class until then. By 5 o'clock in the evening, college was over. Then my friends said that let's have a vada pav party. I agreed. We had a blast eating nice vada pav and bhel puri, etc. After that, we wrapped up this party with a nice cold drink. After having the cold drink, I went home. After reaching home, I was planning to sleep to take rest. However, my mother swamped me with some household chores. I had to wash dishes and then I had to clean TV, etc., etc. And then finally, I could go to sleep. So, friends, this is a sample conversation using these words. You also speak to yourself using these words. This will help in improving your English. Hello, friends. Now, let us try the next 20 words. Okay. So, these next 20 words or phrases, we will have a different scenario. A boy has got admission to a hostel and he leaves his village and he goes to the hostel. So, shall we use these phrases? The first day I met a senior. The senior explained to me everything about how hostel life works, but most of it went over my head. That is because he had a different accent which I couldn't understand. After that, I went and met the warden. I had to plead with him a lot to give me my room keys. I felt a bit under the weather the first day because I missed my home. Maybe it was my mother's food. By chance, I met an old friend in hostel. He was with me in school days. We caught up with a lot of good memories. My hostel friend, my school friend, my school friend then explained to me how things work because he has been there for a long time. That cleared everything in my mind. In my hostel, there are two canteens. I am still on the fence which one to choose. I had lunch in one of them and it was nothing to write home about. I had to jump through hoops in order to get a table in my room. So we have used these phrases. You make your own scenario and and use these phrases in your own sentences.